Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back, welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormybman for this Friday, June 9th, 2023. This is number 205 in the series of Chop Sessions, and we're calling this one Return of the Problem. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. I hope that you've had, I hope that you've had a decent week, and we are headed into a massive fight weekend, as they like to say in the UK, massive, because we have so many fights on the ticket for this weekend. They started last night. They are going through this evening on into tomorrow with several cards scheduled for tomorrow. The card that's going on this evening is a card that's featuring the return of Adrian Broner. Thus the title of tonight's show, Return of the Problem. Broner's nickname, alias in boxing is The Problem. And that's why we titled the show. He's taking on a gentleman from the UK by the name of Bill Hutchinson. And this is a return fight for Adrian, who's been out of the ring since the flood, the Great Flood. And we'll see what he does tonight. I have elected not to tune in. I was going to listen to a fight call on it, but I'm at a particular place when it comes to Adrian Broner's fights. Even when they do take place, he has had lackluster efforts, and he has approached the sport with a lackluster sense of urgency. And then he's very dismissive of people who could be potential ticket buyers, or those who would, on this evening, he's having a pay-per-view event, those who would tune in and purchase his pay-per-view. And though I understand that pay-per-view card this evening, Fight TV has it for like $24.99 or something like that. I'm sorry, but I'm just not interested. I will report on what happens, after the fight takes place. I did a pre-fight video on it, but I am no longer supporting these fighters who really crap on the paying public and the paying supporters. So it's like, I feel a certain kind of way. And that doesn't just go for Adrian, but it goes for several others in the sport. Tomorrow night's card, featuring the return to the ring of Josh Taylor, former undisputed junior welterweight champion, who is now currently the WBO welterweight champion. He had relinquished all the other belts, but held on to the WBO. Josh Taylor is going to be taking on Teofimo Lopez, another gentleman in the sport that I just can't put that type of support behind him because of his behavior and also the insulting ethnic remarks that he has made and had doubled down on, not finding it necessary to apologize. So I don't apologize for not giving a damn about what he does, and will root for him heartily in each and every endeavor which he encounters something. I don't care if he's, in a court battle. I understand that there's something going on domestically with him, and I'll root against him in that as well. And I say that on this air because I want people to understand that they make fighters, melanated fighters, apologize for the simplest of things and denigrate and punish them wholeheartedly for others. Who remembers the $500,000 fine for Devin Haney pushing Vasily Lomachenko at the press conference? 500,000, 400,000, whatever it was, almost $500,000 fine. Fighters push and shove each other at weigh-ins and press conferences all the time. Riddick Bowe punched the lights out of Larry Donald at a press conference. Michael Bent and Herbie Hyde fought outside the castle at their press conference in the rain, all rolling all on the ground on the cobblestone road in their suits and slacks and dress shoes. No one was ever fined $500,000. So what are we doing here? This seems like nothing more than that thing where that woman reporter once told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. They're telling these fighters to shut up and fight, but only certain fighters. But people like Teofimo, who has the mouth of the Pacific Ocean, as wide as it could be, can say whatever, and there's no accountability. So if you guys want to support that and get behind that, that's your well right to do so. But I'm going to exercise my right to speak against it. And his dad is no better. So, maybe we could get 2 car fires out of that. Yeah. When will the melanated fighter stand up for himself? When will a melanated fighter begin to face these evils in the world and do away with them? I recall Lennox Lewis once saying in a post-fight interview he wants to get rid of all the misfits in boxing. And he was checking them off as he was defeating them. How I long for those days of a champion like Lennox Lewis, who didn't do a lot of talking but did a lot of action in the ring. We got just a handful of people out here in the chat this evening. I guess that's a dual reason. One may be because of the show, the title of the show, and what I've started speaking on right away. The other may be some people may have elected to go and tune in to this card that's running concurrently. And yet and still others, some may have just, decided not to come around. And that's all fine, because this will get done with or without you. The show must go on. You guys do realize that even though Broner is returning to the ring this evening for the first time since February of 2021, there are no guarantees that he's going to look good. There are no guarantees that he's going to give you a solid effort. There are no guarantees that it'll be an upset. But the one thing that you can guarantee is he has been disappointing and has continued to be disappointing in and out of the ring. And being that I'm not a gambling man, I just can't put that support out there like that. I hope that he turns a corner. I talked about that in my video about him. But I don't have to be there to watch it. I don't have to be there to watch it. Just like those of you who have decided not to watch and tune in to tonight's show. And that's okay as well. Let me acknowledge my family that has come into the building this evening. Rod Neal is out there. Mangus Allen. Antonio MMA. Geo James Khalil. 704 Joe. I appreciate everybody that came out. Hope that you smashed the like button when you came in. But it is a big fight card weekend. Big fight card. And there's all sorts of news that has been out there. One of the things that we could talk about early on in the show is some news that has come down the pipeline about Canelo Alvarez. It has been reported by Michael Benson that Canelo has turned down a $50 million offer to face David Benavidez. $50 million. The last time we had a fighter turn down that much money for a championship fight, it was Anthony Joshua about 4 or 5 years ago when Deontay Wilder's camp put up $50 million because that's what AJ said he would accept. And upon learning that the offer was up, the deal was there, the money was there, AJ allowed his management and promoter to talk him out of taking the fight. The $50 million was going to be a solid guarantee for AJ only, not including any pay-per-view or any gate revenue or anything like that, or as they like to say, the back end. So he declined an opportunity at generational wealth But only a few short years later, got a huge dose of reality when a late substitute by the name of Andy Ruiz Jr. ruined his Madison Square Garden debut after Jarrell Big Baby Miller, tested positive for an assortment of PEDs, which took him out of the fight. Ruiz goes on after a knockdown early in the fight to stop AJ. And AJ has not been the same since. So you can ask for multi-million-dollar guarantees and everything, but the only guarantee is that if there's going to be a fight, you better do your damnedest, because fate has funny turns. This is where we are. To hear the Lopez camp talk about fighters pricing themselves out so fights don't get made purposely, and then to accuse Devin Haney of doing the same, is absolutely lunacy. I could tell you, it appears that those two men take substances before they get in front of a camera and microphone. But this is where we are. And this is who they are. Canelo turning down $50 million. I will no longer call him a duck. That's greater than ducking. You accept the modern media speaking of you as if you are the face of the sport. But you have gone out of your way to not fight the quality fighters and contenders who deserve a shot at the titles that you have in your possession. You're a fraud and you're a fake. And you have an unrealistic view about where your position and your status stands, Canelo. In fact, since Canelo is such a fraud, I thought I'd pick something, a video clip to show him while I brief you guys on the news. One of the best moments in his sporting career, Dmitry Bivol unloading a fuselage of punches that he can't get away from. Excellent. So what do you guys think about the fact that he has decided to walk away from a potential Benavidez fight, a fight that I've felt that he didn't want for years? I believe he's going that route because he doesn't want people to see him get his rear end handed to him. We got to hold these fighters accountable, man. Regular media is not doing their job. I mean, just think about it. Put it to you like this. The Devin Haney fight against Vasyl Lomachenko a couple weeks ago. Close decision. Devin got it unanimously. All sorts of people come out of the woodwork talking about how the sport is bad. Petitions for reform and judging and scoring and all sorts of shenanigans. But where was that same line of action in Vasyl Lomachenko's last fight against Jermaine Ortiz? Wasn't that a close fight? Couldn't he have got a close decision? Where was the outcry for that? Because just as one particular sports analyst suggested, if it were the house fighter who was on the losing end, would that score get reversed and changed? I don't know. Not much response from you guys, but I'm putting it out there. This is the way you have to look at it, man. But y'all don't hear me, though. You ain't even listening. I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't they raise such a fuss for Ortiz when Loma's decision was so close with him? No comments, guys, huh? No comments. I'm trying to let it breathe a little bit. Let it breathe. $704 Joe says, I hear you. Canelo ain't fighting nobody. That's that. People will still pay to see him. Not me. I didn't pay for his last fight against John Ryder. You have to admit, this is a great clip of Canelo getting smashed, though. Great clip of him. Mangus Allen, I'm glad you asked that question, because this is the news I have as of earlier today. Ed Hearn has had talks for a Canelo fight versus Badu Jack at cruiserweight. Think about that now. Let that sink in. Badu Jack, people. Badu Jack. Let me go on and read this article for you, published in Boxing News 24 today. Ed Hearn said he spoke with Prince Khalid about putting together a fight for Saudi Arabia between newly crowned WBC cruiserweight champion Badu Jack and Canelo Alvarez. Hearn says that Canelo's manager/trainer Eddie Reynoso isn't rushing for the fight against Badu Jack, who's currently 28-3 with 3 draws and 17 KOs, who will turn 40 years old in October. Badu Jack is turning 40 in October, you all. Still, Hearns thinks that it's a possibility for the Mexican star, saying it might have legs, but neither of these fighters do, Jack or Canelo. Canelo is almost 8 years younger than Badu Jack, and instead of fighting one of the fighters that are primed and ready for his weight, he's entertaining going back up again beyond the weight where he lost to Bivol in his last fight and taking on a cruiserweight such as Badu Jack. You can't make the hypocrisy up from amongst these fighters, man. These guys don't want to fight anyone. Could you imagine what they would have been like doing this a few years ago without social media, I'm not feeling this at all, man. I'm not feeling this at all. Badu is not someone that fans want to see Canelo fight, and it would be a wrong career move for him if he were to face this guy next. The guy fans in the U.S. want to see Canelo face is David Benavidez, not Badu Jack, John Ryder, Billy Joe Saunders, Rocky Fielding, 41-year-old Gennady Golovkin, or Danny Jacobs. You got that right, Sean Jones, who wrote the article for Boxing News 24. He goes on to say, with DAZN paying Canelo tons of money for his fights, they probably wouldn't be too excited at seeing him fight Badu because it wouldn't bring in a lot of pay-per-view buys. That's another thing. They never talk about his box office. They'll talk about his purses, but they won't talk about his numbers. And how is it that this man can walk around through this sport, both he and Tyson Fury, and tell sanctioning bodies what to do, tell fellow contending fighters what he's not going to do, and just march to their own beat and drum? This is ridiculous. It goes on to say Canelo's last pay-per-view fight on DAZN against John Ryder is rumored to have pulled in poor numbers. You don't say. Fighting Badu could be far worse for Canelo, with just a few boxing fans purchasing it on DAZN. The backlash that Canelo would receive if he faced Badu Jack in September would be out of this world. Despite having captured world titles in 3 divisions, Badu is not a big name, and he is seen as a fighter on the downside of his career. Can we now say that Canelo is on the downside of his career? The article continues on. Yeah, Badu recently dethroned WBC Cruiserweight champion Ilunga Makubu last February by knocking him out in the 12th round, but that guy was arguably the weakest link among champions in that weight class. If Jack had fought one of the talented cruiserweight champions, he likely would have been beaten, as we saw in his loss to Marcus Brown. Yes, I spoke to Prince Khalid about that. I liked the fight because I think Badu Jack was a super middleweight. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think Eddie Reynoso is rushing around that fight, but it might have some legs, said Eddie Hearn to Boxing King Media about his interest in making a fight between Canelo and WBC Cruiserweight champion Badu Jack. Interestingly, Hearn is keen on matching Canelo against Badu Jack instead of pushing him to face David Benavidez or David Morrell Jr., 2 killers from the 168-pound division and viewed as fighters that are his main competition. No, they're not. There is another fighter by the name of Chris Mbili. How about that guy? He should be a WBC number 2 contender right behind David Benavidez. The walls have closed in, and I said this a few months ago. It was going to happen. But the walls have closed in around Canelo. He is in a cell looking through bars while the world is happening around him. You cannot continue to cherry pick through the boxing divisions. You will eventually run across that unripe fruit, and your jaws are gonna draw in, and your mouth will be puckered up for the sour. But this seems to be what they're doing. Brown on Boxing, what's good? That's right, Mangus Allen. Canelo versus Anthony Yard. Why not face a guy like that? I don't like what we're seeing, and I don't like the fact that Canelo and Tyson Fury can just do as they will, and the rest of the sport in the divisions that they compete get put on hold for them. What kind of BS is that? This is not looking good. And I think that any content creator out here should go in on this guy. Big time. Big time. They should go in on him. He's just graping the sport left and right. Mangus Allen says, Canelo likes cherry picking. Perfect time to get Charlo. Ain't fought in years. Plus mentally out of it. You know what? Charlo's threat is what's keeping that fight out of Canelo's mind. The threat of Charlo. Brown on Boxing says the WBC should have made Benavidez versus Canelo purse bid. Yeah. Chilltown Majors, what's good with you? I'm very disappointed in this, man. This doesn't have to go this way. It really doesn't. But the fact that they're allowing this guy, and look at how they pay him. Remember they were telling you that there was no money for Crawford and Spence? How do they come up with money for this guy like that? These overinflated purses against nobodies. See, you all haven't gotten upset enough. When you get upset enough, you hold these people to task, they'll stop the foolishness. But it does require you to get tired. You have to get fed up. Brown on boxing. It pretty much seems that way, doesn't it? No accountability, man. I talked about earlier in the show before you arrived on the scene. They fined Devin Haney almost $500,000 for pushing Lomachenko at the weigh-in. Fighters push and punch each other and shove each other at weigh-ins and press conferences all the time. David Haye had Derek Chisora throw a table at him. He threw a bottle at Derek Chisora. I mean, listen, man. This stuff generates the press to cover the sport. Lights a fire under things. But a $500,000 fine? I bet if Loma had pushed Devin Haney, they would not have said nothing. They would have said, look at how intense Loma is. He actually shoved a guy. That's all they would do. There would be no fines. Yeah, I thought I would read that article there because I had that queued up, man. Boxing News 24 about Canelo. And for those of you who are not aware, Michael Benson tweeted out earlier today, Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez is not happening next. Benavidez's promoter, Samson Lekovitz, has now confirmed. Lekovitz says Canelo and Eddie Reynoso simply did not respond to their offer for the fight in September. Yeah, Mangus Allen, they never stopped making those type of graphics. They've done it on these several occasions, showing him having an undefeated record when they put his image on the screen during a broadcast. And they haven't apologized for that. No one has made them apologize. No one has threatened to take them down off the air or fine them for their unethical practices. But hey, here we are. Here we are. So what do we do, guys? What do we do? I mean, certain content creators like myself and Champside, shout out to Champside. We got Drew Titan out there, 78 Sports TV. You know, we talk about these things, but what else can we do? Because this is a serious issue here. You know, Mangus, in Chilltown, the reason that Canelo is not taking on the people that we want to see him take on is his ego has gotten so inflated that he doesn't think that he's supposed to even look bad, let alone lose a fight or lose rounds in a fight. It's really that simple when it comes to him. Think about it. When he was 23 years old, he took on Floyd Mayweather, who was 36 at the time. They were banking on Floyd being too old. So this is not something new that Canelo is doing. He's following the same format. It's just that there are fighters like Floyd, Erislandy Lara, who have skill sets that will take him to task. And the Charlos and Andrades, they have similar talents that will take him to task. He doesn't even want to look bad against anyone. You heard him say he didn't even think he lost the fight against Bivol. When Ali lost fights, these people always want to compare their fighters to Ali, right? But when Ali lost fights, He acknowledged the loss, which allowed him to prepare and come back better for rematches. Yeah. These guys, when they lose fights today, it's all sorts of reasons. My esophagus blew up. My asshole blew up. Huh? My wife left me. My girlfriend having my best friend's baby. All that kind of stuff. Foolishness. I don't know. I've gotten tired of it, man. This is the kind of stuff that had me walk away from the sport for a few years in the mid 2000s. This very thing. And social media wasn't as strong as it is right now. Let's move on to a conversation about some fights for tomorrow. Jaime Munguia taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko. Listen, I don't think they would have taken this fight without having taken a very close look at Sergey. So Sergey's going to have to surprise them with his own personal desire for a shot at another world championship. They had the weigh-in today. And the way it looks, Jaime Munguia came in 167.4 and Sergey came in at the same. Let's see how big Jaime looks after he rehydrates. Munguia is now 41-0. A padded record if there has ever been one, with many nondescript fights. But they allow this kind of foolishness. A certain demographic can get away with that. There were opportunities on the table for him to face Charlo or Andrade at 160, and he decided not to do that. So he's pulling Sergey up from 160 to 168. This is more of the same bull crap. Why isn't Jaime fighting Shane Mosley Jr.? How about that? If you pay attention, you can smell the stench of boxing. I mean, it runs deep. It runs so deep. That's right, Mangus Allen. They have already groomed him to be exactly that. And they will not make the mistake that they made with Canelo by putting him in against a veteran boxer who can really make him look vulnerable. So the Charlos and Andrades, they're out of the question. Zanabek is out of the question. Somebody who is really tough and strong and hungry. They don't want no problems from those kind of guys. So this is exactly what they're doing. They're playing that game and they're milking it to the brim. That's right, Brown on Boxing. And Jaime struggled a little bit at some points against Gabe. Shane beat the crap out of Gabe. So they have the two of them have a common opponent in Gabe Rosado, but shouldn't it be next that they fighting each other? It reminds me a lot of when Triple G was arguing over taking on an opponent with Jamal Charlo when he should have just been facing Jamal Charlo. Crazy, bro. Crazy. I did a video about that. Sport is falling on his face. I don't know why I'm yawning so much this evening. I don't feel tired, but it's like no oxygen or something. I've been yawning like crazy since I've gone live. I was not yawning at all before I went live. Not one bit. Jeff Spark, what's good with you? Sylvestrial, what's good? Yeah, if you think about it, Triple G ran away from Andre Ward. Canelo is running away from at least 3 guys in his own weight class. It's crazy. But he'll go over in Europe and fight less capable fighters. And then he's also making sure that these guys are long in the tooth as well. Nobody should ever let him get away with this. They should just go in. It's like I should not be the only one talking about this, man. I shouldn't be. There should be other guys talking about it a lot. Salute to Nolly Ray out there in that Cash App. He's saying, for salute, Sensei, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Brown on Boxing says, the number one reason I don't have DAZN is because they are the runaway and hide network. Canelo, Triple G, and AJ all ran to DAZN hiding from the elite competition and got their ass kicked for cowardly behavior. You know what? I can't disagree with that. You're spot on, Brown on Boxing. Salute to Nolly Ray out there. He says, watching the Showtime card. I forgot all about the Showtime card. I sure did, because there's so much boxing this evening. Straight up forgot about that card. That's Showbox, right? I guess I'll put the Showtime card on in my backdrop. Yeah, these two light heavyweights, Van Seeklen and Carrillo, they're kind of stumbling out of the gate with each other. These guys look like they need a lot of work, man. And this is a damn 10-rounder. They look like they should be fighting in 4-rounders. Two southpaws. Sylvester, what's good with you, man? Just kind of down about, what's happening in boxing, man. Canelo and Teofimo and some of these guys are clowns, man. They don't even need to be in this sport. They are horrible. And speaking about Teofimo, let me go ahead and talk about his fight card for tomorrow. Well, not the card, but the fight, the main event. Both he and Josh Taylor weighed in today. And let me tell you something. Teo had to take his clothes off to get on the scale to make weight. Didn't he move up from 135 to 140? So he had to undress to make the weight. Josh Taylor came in under the weight with a pound or so to spare and looks fine. So all that talking T.O. was doing and everything, you have to wonder how much training was applied to the camp of getting ready for this fight. Yeah. Yeah, learn what's going on with you. Yeah, I got it on. I got it on right now. The Showbox card. And Sylvester, you're right. I don't think he's going to fare well at that weight at all. He struggled against Sandor Martin, man, who's not a big puncher or anything. Man, this dude Carrillo, man, sporting that Stephen A. Smith, Peebo Bryson hairstyle, man, where the hairline starts across the top of the head. What's really going on? Let the hairline go. Don't try to hold on to it. Let that hairline go. Peebo. He may as well get himself one of them Jorge Luis Gonzalez bald-headed shag, huh? It's like you know, y'all know I can signify. It's like they shouldn't even have me on here talking about these guys, because they'll be coming looking for me, because I'll be like, man, your barber is jacked up, your hairline is jacked up. You need to do something about this. Sid UK is out there. What's good, Sid? I'm not watching the Broner fight. Not watching it because I'm not paying. I'm watching Showbox. And this kid Vanisclin is getting knocked down and everything by glancing blows to the head. These guys are something else, man. They don't take the fight game serious like they should. Learn, you mean Rigo? He's back from the school of the Al Green school of cooking, huh? Them hot grits. Learn says, I think Tio will have some success with counters because I feel Tio is faster than Josh with hand speed. Ultimately, Josh's pressure may get him the victory. 12 rounds, I have Josh winning. Yeah. Tio does not deal with pressure well, man. He doesn't deal with pressure well at all. Oh, Vanisclin is getting his butt whooped right now. He looking like he ready to go to the canvas again. This is just the 4th round. He ain't looking good at all. Don't know how to tie up. Oh, he's hit the other guy in the back of the head. What's up? Oh man. He got hit in the back of the head. But they couldn't tell because his hairline was so far back. They couldn't tell that it was just back of the head because his hairline was way back. Oh, that was a forehead shot. They would have called it an illegal blow if his hairline was where it was supposed to be, because it was way back there. They was like, it's good. 2, 3, get up. He's like, man, Carrillo went back to his corner like, man, they counted for that. They was like, yeah, man, next time we gonna shave all your hair off. Man, I'll tell you. He was mad as hell. Man, be mad at the damn barber, dude. That's who you get mad at. This shit is hilarious. See, that's why I can't do commentary, man. Because I'll be too busy making this stuff, like laughing and stuff. I'll be like, hey, when something funny happens, I won't be able to help myself. This fight gonna end in a knockout. One of these guys is going out, bro. Because it just looks like somebody ain't built to last. Gnarly Ray said, I'm cracking up over here. Yeah, man, it's like, look at these dudes, man. Man, Van Siekelen just dropping his head and throwing punches. They ain't even looking at where he's throwing. Chilltime Majors, boxing may not have been the sport for him anyway. One thing about this Carrillo, though, he ain't afraid. He coming forward the entire time. Like I said, somebody getting knocked out in this fight, man. Somebody getting knocked out. As far as T.O. and Josh are concerned, listen, man. I want Taylor to beat the dog crap out of T.O. Beat the dog crap out of that boy. Yeah, Learn, I heard that crazy fool talking like that, man. 20 million. That means he don't want to fight. That's all that means. When you seen a little junior welterweight get or a lightweight get paid $20 million, that's ridiculous. And that's the first thing his dad started hollering, yeah, they're going to price themselves out. Y'all pricing yourselves out. If you're so good, if it's all about the takeover, and since Dev got all the belts, wouldn't you want to fight him, whatever, so you could get the belts? But see, that ain't what they want, because that's not what they really on, and that's not what they can really hold on to. So it's like they make up. I just want guys like that to be gone from the sport. The faster that a fighter gets in there and do away with them, like Josh will have that opportunity to do tomorrow, the better off the sport will be. Well, it's not even about Bob, paying that amount. It's absurd. It's unreasonable. That was like Tyson Fury saying that he wanted, $100 million to face Usyk, and he wanted 70% of the purse, and Usyk got 3 belts. It was like, dude, that's a negotiating ploy that's gonna ensure that the fight don't happen. The reason that Deontay and he was able to fight was because Deontay was able to negotiate a deal for him, because it wasn't about the money for Deontay. I think I'm going to keep it right here till this fight is over, because like I said, I see one of these guys getting knocked out, man. Oh, good left hook, right hook by Carrillo. Oh, he's stepping into him again. Another right hook, left hook, left hook, right hook. Because these are both southpaws. Carrillo is the aggressor. And Van Siekelen is fighting with his hands down now, opening himself up to these punches. And learn. That's that crack talking, bro. That man is a basket case, and so is his son. I talked about it on Smoke City Mobcast on Wednesday night. They need to be out of the sport, man. They don't need to be in the boxing. They don't. They need to find something else to do. I don't like how he was talking to Bill Haney either, man. Bill was a real trooper for holding his peace, but I knew he realized if I go off or punch this guy or something in front of these cameras, that's a big time lawsuit. But But always remember this, you guys, and I've said it so many times, especially on my Tuesday Tussle show. Empty cans rattle the loudest. T.O. Sr. run his mouth, he be barking and all of that. Listen. Throw some powder out there, he'll be quiet as a mouse. Man, this Carrillo is throwing some really nice combinations right now. He's bringing the shots underneath and coming up top. Oh. "35 seconds to go in the 8th round. And it looks like Van Seeklen is hurt. Trying to be brave, trying to stay afloat. But Carrillo is coming after him. Ali Ismailov taking on Charles Foster in the next light heavyweight bout. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, Gnarly Ray, I think that Carrillo is playing a little too much with him. He needs to get serious, buckle down, and go and get this guy out of there. Because he's ready. Yeah, these guys are like messing around in there, man. And as I talk about all the time, where are the combinations? Oh, good left hook there, but he only threw one shot. Peebo Carrillo with the single shot. Need to put them together, bro. Yeah, Larry, man, I appreciate you. I'm about to shut this down and finish watching the Showbox card. And then get ready for tomorrow because we got post-fight and a couple of fight cards tomorrow. But I'm going to get on out of here as well, man. Yeah, the doggone YouTube ran some interference in there again just before I was able to sign it all off. But I'm going to get ready to get on up out of here, man. Thanks to everybody for tuning in this evening. We got some more fights coming up on this Showtime card. You guys could check that out if you ain't watching AB. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Have a great weekend. Enjoy these fights this weekend, man. Peace to everybody.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.